in a cellar deep below Candlekeep, known as the Firefly Cellar, strange things seem to be afoot. Alto, you are running down once again to the bottom floor with Varnir at your side, heading, it seems, towards a room where apparently this young girl lives. What are you doing?
Looking around, trying to find her. She is the first one we heard humming this thing that is taking us over, and it's something that everyone is now humming down here, and it's clearly some form of curse or magical effect. It is probably bad news. We have to stop it as soon as is possible. So yes, I'm trying to find her. She was in a room. I saw some light coming from underneath that door before. Surely she's still there. I'll go over there and knock.
You go and knock. Bex, you return to your room, trying to sleep. It gets worse when you try and sleep. It gets louder in your head. This humming.
This is so annoying. Stupid spell, I say to myself. And after 10 minutes, or maybe even less, it feels like a day of lying there. Sit up again. Fine, there's nothing else to do about it. I'll just get my things off, I'll get ready and try and get access during the night and keep my studies going. There's no help for it. This is like a mild version of Tasha's hideous laughter. And I start equipping my things again, put on my furs and my cloths and my weaponry, and I get ready to get out of here again.
And you do so, and as you leave the room you notice Alto and Varnir, the head scribe, heading to the door just opposite you. You knock, and the door opens, and that young human girl, blonde hair, but slightly dark mahogany skin, sort of just opens the door. She's in her dressing gown. She looks at you sleepily. Varnir? Sorry, why are you people here? What's going on?
I suppose I'm still humming as she opens the door.
Do you wish to stop humming?
Yes, I try to stop as soon as she has opened the door.
Roll a wisdom check. Straight wisdom check.
4.
Nope. Not happening. You can continue to speak, but you really keep wanting to vocally hum. It's quite painful.
Where did you hear this rhyme, this hum?
The girl looks at you a bit confused. What do you mean? That one? I don't know. She seems quite scared. You don't think you're coming across in a very friendly way to a small 12-year-old girl.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. There's something strange happening. We can't stop humming. You see, we want to stop humming because we want to sleep, and we think maybe there's something bad that's causing this. Maybe there's some kind of object or something that is making us do all this singing. Do you think you can help us find the bad thing that is causing this? Is there something you have found recently? Something that was hidden that you picked up and then you started humming like we are?
I stop in the corridor as they are starting to talk with the girl. I feel impatient and drowsy, very tired, and I'm standing there and I'm humming. I try to keep it as low as possible, but it's hard. I will not leave until at least I heard what they are saying and what they've found so far.
Yes, well, you certainly overhear the conversation, Bex, as this young girl, Galby, simply says, "What? No, why would I have found something? I'm a good girl. I don't touch anything. Only Father, Varnir and Crinkle touch things. I'm not allowed to touch anything or I'll break them. I just draw and learn. What do you mean I didn't fight? If I found something, I'd have told you." She's getting quite upset, even though you're trying your best to sound peaceful.
I know you're a good girl, and I'm not saying this is your fault. What do you think could be causing it? You said you draw and you like to learn. What are you learning from? Is there something you have, perhaps some kind of good book or something you found down here?
No, she sort of gestures to a table where there's a few pictures, and she looks a little embarrassed, and then she starts humming, and she seems to be actually getting quite upset as she hums, and she's like, I don't know.
Let's have a look at these pictures then, I say, and I try to just brush by and go in and have a look.
Bex, you brush past her and look at the pictures. They are simple childish scrawlings, but you think you can make out a little bit. There's a woman with a scythe in her hand. Okay. They're over a body. And then there's that one of the dog. And then there's one of a boy, and he's in some water. Looks like he's upside down in the water.
These are slightly disturbing paintings. Are they all dead, these people that you have painted?
No, it's just a little story, I think. I don't know. They're not dead. I'm not in trouble. Don't tell Dad.
No, you're not in trouble. Where did you learn about that story? What inspired you to draw that? Is it you who's drawn it?
I just thought of it. Again, she seems quite upset and starts humming to herself. She starts crying. Varna's looking quite distressed. Maybe that's enough from her, Alto. I don't think I think she might be having the same affliction we all are.
I suppose you're right. What about her father? Where is he?
Well, Ibda! And as you see her calling out his name, you hear from above a loud scream.
What's that? They begin rushing towards the screen.
You begin heading up, once again on that second floor. This time you look to that doorway, the door that led to the scriptorium, and that seems to be where someone is screaming, yelling, just screaming, "Stop! Stop! Stop!"
And who is it?
Well, what do? Do you run straight to the door? Do you stop to just look in the room? Do you run straight into the room? Tell me what's going on.
I suppose I open up if there's a door, and I look in first to see what's happening. Who is it that's yelling? At who?
On the ground, you think you see this man. Although you haven't actually met him. Is that Ebda? Maybe. Whoever he is, he's currently on the floor, clutching his head. His eyes are bulging as he just rocks back and forth. "Stop it! Just stop the goddamn singing! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" What do you do?
And there's no one else there.
No.
I move up to him. Ibda, where's the singing coming from? Do you know?
I don't know! He's generally looking very distressed and just starts hitting his head against the wall. What do you do?
I try to cast Dispel Magic on him, not knowing what else to do.
You do. And as your spell is cast, he sort of slumps. "Ah, yes. There we go. Thank you. There you go. It's gone. It's gone." And then you nod and start humming to him.
It seems like it's at least gone for you. Not for the rest of us, though. Where did you first hear this? Do you have any idea what might be causing it?
He looks at you and starts humming. Quieter, though, this time. No, it was gone, but you brought it back. Why did you bring it back? Oh, okay, Bex, what are you doing? You see this sight before you. This Alto has tried to comfort this man, and it seemed to work for a moment, but not for very long.
As I hear the screaming at first in the room, I stand there with the paintings. I stand there with the drawings in my hands, and I calmly, as the others rush off, I fold them up and I say, "Try drawing pretty flowers next time." And I put them in a bag that I have with me, pat it, and I go off, leaving the child. As I then come into the room, and I come in somewhere in between Alto dispelling this magic and this man once again starting to hum, I am very annoyed because I'm noticing that I'm humming once again to myself. Well, what is it? Where is it coming from?
Alto, you were asked this question. Ebda is calmer now. You have calmed him, but he's still humming and still quite distressed. What do you do?
I don't know. The child was humming. You were humming. It seems like you were worse off than we were, like it was really affecting you.
Well, what can I say? It was like screaming in my head. It just keeps going on and on and on. Varnir, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. And Varnir then quickly comes in. No, We really can't. I'm sorry, this actually seems like exactly why quarantine procedures are in place. Don't worry, help will be coming. We need to do our best, just remain calm.
Head scribes, when you cast Detect Magic, what did you notice exactly? Is it just us, or is it the area? Where is it coming from?
It seemed to be something covering us, like an enchantment, but it was on every single person. I wasn't able to tell what it was. I'm not really a proper wizard, you know. I just know a few basic spells.
It seems like we're passing it on to each other, as if we're somehow infecting each other.
Yes, if we could dispel all of us at once, if we could gather up and somehow, if you know a spell to dispel it from all of us, then that would maybe solve the problem, yes?
Well, I mean, I don't know a spell like that, but the senior avowed will. As soon as they come, again, it's the middle of the night, it's going to take them some time to arrive. I'm sure, well, I mean, you know, it's irritating, but maybe we have time.
Yes, try to do something that distracts me. Yes, maybe I will draw something as well, I say. I pull out the drawings and a pen, a coal pen, and I start trying to sketch something.
You do, and you begin sketching a little sketch of a woman, and there's a dog, and yes, and maybe the dog bites her hand. That's a good sketch to draw. Why don't you draw that?
The dog. It bites the woman's hand. The dog and the woman's hand. This is... And then I look on the backside of the drawing of what I just did. It's the same. It's what she drew as well. Does this mean anything to you, head scribe?
Well, I don't know. What an awful drawing. Why would you be drawing something like that? That's hardly a nice thing to draw.
This is what the child drew as well.
Is it related to what happened here? I'm sorry I keep asking you, but does this place have some kind of history that we might be able to connect with what's happening now?
No, not this. I mean...
But then what?
Well, okay, there was something terrible did happen here, but it wasn't this. So there was a trader who came, I can't recall his name, and he was doing a bit of business down here with one of the scribes. And then in the morning, we found... Well, she points upwards. The scribe hung himself from up there, and we never found what happened to the merchant who was with him. Quite an awful event. You can imagine, I was younger at the time, and so there you go, and people thought, maybe the place had some bad spirits or was haunted, and they didn't really want to come here anymore, and there you go, and they closed it down for at least 200 years, you know.
Where did that scribe live? Which was his room?
My room.
Your room?
Yes.
Is there anything there? Whatever business he did with this merchant, did he perhaps procure some kind of a cursed item? Could it still be there?
I mean, well, it wouldn't be in my room if that's what you're asking. It could be here, but it wouldn't have just... Well, we would know. Books don't just come here, like, you know, that we have a whole place for dangerous books.
Well, it must be coming from something. And we brought nothing down here. It was the child that gave us the songs.
Yes, and as Varnir is sort of mulling this over, you suddenly notice to your right, Alto, a book is starting to just shimmy off the shelf. What do?
I rush over to it, trying to stop it.
And you fail as the book flies into the air, and then another, and then another. Suddenly, 10 or 20 books are flying off the shelves in the scriptorium, causing quite a scene as they begin flying through the air. Please roll, both of you, a dexterity saving throw.
18.
20.
Luckily, both of you are quite dexterous. You manage to avoid actually getting any injury here. After all, they're just books, and you just bat them aside. Varnir manages to duck behind you, Bex, and Ebda was luckily on the ground. After a few seconds, this strange phenomena stops, but the room is now full of books just thrown all over the place. What do?
It's escalating.
Yes.
Probably connected. At some point I think I saw the fireflies flicker as well. And how did the fireflies do of all this?
The fireflies seem fine now, but every now and again they are flickering on and off. It's very strange. After all, they don't have the ability to do that, fireflies normally.
Can we see any kind of pattern from these books? Where did they start to get life from? Or is there a pattern from how they've moved, somewhere we can see as this the point of origin of their movement?
To be honest with you, it seemed completely random to you, but definitely magical. Something just happened. Maybe spiritual? Again, you're not an expert on all these things, but something definitely happened just now. You see Varnia sort of starting to head to a side door that leads to another room. Okay, right, well, maybe we did find... I mean, again, some of the books here had been out of stock. I'd been looking at a few of them, but I have all the ones I was working on in here recently, and she starts heading to this room, and then... Could you both roll me a perception check?
It's a fumble.
That's a 10.
Bex, you are not looking around at the moment. What are you doing? You're getting quite agitated.
It's the girl. The girl. She's found something. She's found something and she's hiding it from us. She's the one behind this. She is crying because she's guilty. I say in a low tone, trying just to numb out the humming. I'm going to find what she's hiding from us, and I start trying to leave the room to get to her place and start searching her room.
Ebda stands in your way, blocking the doorway. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not going anywhere. How dare you? What are you talking about? My girl would never do anything like you're saying. You know what I think? I think it's you two. Everything was fine, and suddenly you two come in here singing your goddamn songs, accusing my innocent daughter. How dare you?
I pull my dirk on him and I point at him. Stand aside, man. We're going to have to find where it comes from. She was the one that was humming the song to us, and then it gets stuck in our head, and now it's in yours.
You would dare draw a weapon on me in Candlekeep? The overseers will hear of this! You are going to be banished from this place! How dare you! Varnia kind of comes over and is like, please, both of you, what are you doing?
He's trying to keep things away from us just like his daughter.
Yes, it will not help us now if we become upset. We have to try and think as calmly as we can.
Alto, you, while this is all going on, suddenly realize you hear something. You hear words. Words? That there are words coming from... You look and just see yourself staring at a tapestry on the wall. There's a big overhanging tapestry covering quite a large section of wall in this scriptorium you're in.
Just to be on the safe side, I cast Comprehend Language in order to be able to understand whatever it is that I'm hearing, just in case it's something that's not common or a language that I speak.
You will begin to cast the spell, but then stop yourself because you quickly understand that you just can't hear it because you can't hear it. It's not a language you don't understand, it's coming from somewhere and the sound is being muffled, so casting the spell would not be beneficial.
Well, I try to find out where it's coming from and so I can hear it better then.
Do you move towards the tapestry?
Yes.
You move towards the tapestry. Tell me what you do exactly here.
I move closer and I look at the object, the tapestry that's making this sound. All right, here goes. And I cast Dispel Magic on the tapestry.
You cast Dispel Magic towards the tapestry, and your spell dissipates in the air. Nothing happens. There is no magic here. But you do then think you see maybe a door. Is there a door behind the tapestry?
Well, perhaps this wasn't completely wasted. I try to move up to this door then and open it.
You try and the door is locked, but you can hear behind it that there is something behind this door. There definitely is, but then you turn around and again, you're the only one who's noticed any of this. Bex, a man is standing in your way. Varnia is like, please, Bex, what are you doing? Put that knife away. What are you... Madness, this is Candlekeep.
I locked for a second in this argument and I just clutch it. And I say, fine, but if it turns out that it's your daughter that causes this... And I take the drawings that she did and I just shove them at him.
You throw the pictures to Ebter. He sort of just glances at them, shakes his head, looking at you with anger. You also notice, Bex, someone you haven't met is starting to just sort of stir outside. A tabaxi. Interesting. Oh my goodness, what is all this din? And why is everyone making humming? What are you all doing?
Don't listen to it. If it's if you can avoid, it's going to get stuck with you too. There's some sort of curse going on, some sort of spell.
What? Oh, yes, it's rather catchy. Anyway, this is. I'm sorry, Vanya. I think maybe the arrangement here isn't working. I'm going to go sleep upstairs. Oh no, I'm sorry. Kutala, you can't go. No, I'm sorry. What do you mean I can't go? I'm going to be going. No, Kutala, we have to be sealed in. There might be a contagion happening. A contagion? What do you do, Bex?
This is the first time I hear this about a quarantine or us being locked in. And it frustrates me. But at the same time, I understand it, and I just press my hands against my forehead, trying to block it out. This came as... Did you just come here as well, Tabaxi?
The Tabaxi starts humming to herself, looking quite distressed suddenly, and then looking at you like, oh, yes, yes, I was here researching something, and, my goodness, what, is there some sort of spell? It's maddening. What do you mean we can't leave? How does that make any sense? I'm going to leave. Vanya goes, no, please, just stay calm. Alto, everyone is getting quite excited and quite tense, and you seem to be the only person paying attention to this door. What do you do?
There's a hidden door here. I just stand and I put up both my arms to catch everyone's attention. Door. Maybe here? I heard whispers, language, something coming from behind there. Maybe that's where it's coming from. Why don't we look at that instead of killing each other?
I rush over to you to look and listen at this door.
And yes, now you're actually paying attention, Bex. There's something speaking behind this door. Yes, definitely. Or singing, rather.
It's behind here. Something's singing. Who has the key to this doors?
Oh, what? Well, that's not a secret door. It's just it's the Firefly storage area, actually. Crinkle and myself have a key. But you're right, I do hear something. Everyone just calm down. Kutala sort of grumbles and sits with her arms crossed at the stone table outside. Ebder sort of just throws aside that bag of drawings. He's glaring at you, Bex, but again, for now, he just quietly hums to himself.
I glare back at him, fingering my dirk, but I stand aside for them to open the door.
Varney comes and quickly collects some keys. Oh, yes, no, Crinkle would be unhappy that I'm coming in here. We probably should get her in a moment, but yes, no, let's open this door. I can hear something as well. And she opens the door with a set of keys. This small room is awash in the glow of thousands of fireflies suddenly erupting gently from the room. The luminescent insects flit around inside more than a dozen glass jars that fill the shelves on the walls. A steady plinking noise can be heard from those jars as they bounce against them. Shallow wooden boxes are packed on these shelves, and it does seem as if there is a lot of old, sort of rotting garden stuff in here. Probably stuff to feed the flies. After all, they do need to eat every now and then.
And I move inside this room then among all these fireflies and just I begin searching around, trying to find anything that might be causing this or anything that looks out of place.
Roll a intelligence check.
I join him for this.
Very well then, you can roll your intelligence check with advantage.
My highest roll is 14.
It takes some time, and you don't think you'd have noticed it at all if you couldn't hear this singing, but you can. There's a stone, and you just sort of tap it a few times, and it's a little loose. Now, you wouldn't normally think anything of that, but in this case, you'd find yourself trying to pry it off the ground. And when you do, you see there's a space beneath the floor. You can definitely hear someone or something singing in this space. What do you do? Varney looks very confused. Oh, something below the floor. Can you see what it is?
Hello? Hello?
No one responds to you, but the voice begins to become quite clear as it sings. See a mother siphoning wheat, forgotten husband sleeping near. With one swing she took his feet, with another took his here. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshime, causes grief, avoids the blame. Shemshime! See, a dog knows how to heal, never heeds plea or command. Mother gave it a tasty meal, dog chose instead to eat her hand. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshime, causes grief, avoids the blame. Shemshime! See a son doing his chore, washing clothes for folk in town, fell into the river's roar, sank to the bottom and drowned. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshine, causes grief, avoids the blame. Shemshine! And then it repeats.
Shemshine? Can you stop?
The singing continues, louder.
I cast light into this space to see if it can light up what's down there.
You do. Bex, how are you reacting as Alto is in the floor casting a light spell?
I have joined him. As he says hello down there, I say hello as well. And now he's casting a spell. And as he does, I stand up and I look back at the scribe. Shemshine, does that mean something to you?
And as you are thinking this, finally, the humming does not cease, but it is no longer humming. You know all the words. Every single one. The full song is now playing in your mind, and you have to struggle to stop singing it yourself.
You sang not a sighting wheat, yesterday husband sleeping near. One spring she took his feet, with another took his ear. As the shadow has, I don't understand. I know the words, but why?
Varnir looks at you alarmed. Yes, I also know the words now. That's strange and alarming. Shemshine? There is something familiar about that, but I can't remember why. And she starts singing it a little herself. Alto. The light reveals the source of the singing. A skull. An old skull, surrounded by what looks like a little bit of bone. It's a dead body. A very old, dead body, but the skull is staring straight at you, mouthing these words. It doesn't have a tongue anymore, but it is somehow singing this song at you. What do you do?
I point this out to Vex as well. This is what's causing it.
I come over and I'm trying to keep myself from singing. See your son doing his chore, washing clothes for folk in town, fell into the river's roar, sank to the bottom and drowned. And I draw my crossbow, put a bolt in it, and I aim it at the skull, and I fire it off.
And you do so, your arrow going straight into the skull's skull. It continues to sing. It is after all dead.
Shatter it with something. I cannot cast a firebolt in here.
Would I be able to cast magic missile?
Certainly. Feel free to cast it. You don't need to roll. It is after all directly in front of you.
I unleash magic missiles against the skull, trying to crush it, thereby perhaps preventing it from continuing to sing.
And you do so. The space under the floor alights with your magic missile, causing a little bit of disturbance. Some of the stone moves a little bit, and the skeleton, whatever it is successfully vaporized. You breathe a sigh of relief and begin to sing.
That doesn't quite do it, does it? Can I move into this space where the skeleton was to see if there's anything around here, anything connected to it, or an item of some kind?
No, this is a very small space. There's no way someone naturally would have been in that space, you think to yourself. You see Varnir over your shoulder, her hand over her mouth, like, my goodness, that was... Well, you've destroyed it, but why was there a body underneath the floor?
Where do you think it comes from? Who can have put it there?
Well, I don't know, unless... The trader. We never found him. Because, well, the only witness was dead.
Does the shadow have a name? Shemshine. Cause grief avoids the blame. Shemshine. Shemshine.
Varnir looks distressed and begins heading back to the door, saying to herself, Wait, hang on, come into... Okay, quickly, follow me into the area I was working in. There's something familiar about that name. Follow me quickly.
I do just that.
Let's go. But otherwise, worst thing is we wait until the morning and then they'll come down and they'll dispel it from us, yes. Unless we kill each other first.
Let's not do that.
Let's not.
Vanya leads you into the only other room that was on this floor, which was next to the scriptorium. Here there are leather bits, wood shavings, and paper scraps littering the floor near a large workbench. Tools and contraptions are organised neatly around a handful of books in different states of disrepair. Stools surround the bench, one of which has a leather apron draped over it. Vanya heads over. Now, here's where I was working lately, and here's the thing, I don't understand, you say that was the cause, but I don't think it was the cause. That must have been here for, 200 years, and I've been working here 6 months, Alto, and it hasn't suddenly... The body didn't start singing. Maybe it's because the body was already infected.
Yes. What did set it off? That's the question, Shemshime.
She begins looking over her desk and invites you, Alto. Well, here, I think, have a look yourself, see what you see.
I begin looking over the desk and the tools and everything that's there. Is there anything that stands out?
Well, it's a book repair station. You don't really see anything that stands out initially. Here's a list. Current books to be worked on, and you read it over. Festivals and festivities of ancient Cormier. Replace the cover. Living a Dream. 3 years among stone giants. Replace cover. Halflings' Superstitions. Rebinding. Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. Repair the spine.
That's the one. Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. That's the book. Which one is it? Did you take care of that one already?
Yes, Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme. There we go. That was a book, quite an interesting one. It had a lot of damage to its spine. It also had a music element.
When did you repair this book?
Well, I haven't. It's number 4 on the list. It should be right. And she points to the desk, and then she starts looking around, going, it's not here. Have a look. It had like a spine, gnomish book, actually, I think. It had sort of like a brown enamelled cover. It should be right here. Why isn't it here?
I snarl and I head out the door. The little girl has it.
And Bex, you are off. What do you do, Alto?
I think that he's probably right. I rush after.
There is quite a bit of commotion as you start running. Kutala, Abdir just see you, Bex, but they're too slow to react. You get downstairs, you arrive at that room, and you're at the door. What do you do?
I just try and open the doors.
You open the door, swinging it open. This girl looks at you and then sort of recoils a little, sensing hostile intention. She's singing to herself.
Where is the books? The books about Shemshimes.
What? I don't know. Does the shadow have a name? Shemshine causes grief, voice plain Shemshine. I don't know what that means. Why are you here? Dad!
I start trying to go in and just mess up the room until I find something. Look in the wardrobes, look in every space I can find.
You begin ransacking this room. The young girl begins weeping, terrified of you. You thrust open the bed, throw it on the ground. You see a chest with some books in. No, it's not these ones. You find a little box, and you open it, and there's just a little small glass figurine of a woman in it, and a post meant to hold a ring, you think. And what do you do with this item?
I lift them up and hold them in my hands, looking at them.
Small glass figurine of a woman, a human woman. That's it. Looks quite valuable, really. Very nice little box.
See a mother siding wheat, forget an husband sleeping near. With one swing she took his feet, with another took his ear. I throw it aside for now. I don't even consider the value of it. I need to find the books.
You throw it to the ground, and it shatters. The little girl lets out a scream and begins to weep very heavily. You turn and notice Ebda has arrived in the room. You bastard! And he lunges at you with rage. What do you do?
I pull my dirk and I try to get it up in time to fend him off.
Please roll initiative.
Have I caught up with him now?
You will just be catching up as you see this man, Ebder, sort of rush into the room, yell about something, and charge at Bex. You hear the girl weeping heavily. What do you do, Alto?
Well, this is getting very dangerous. I fear for the life of this father of this man. I need to try and disarm this situation somehow. Come now, everybody. There's no need for violence, I say unconvincingly.
So, what was your initiative roll, Bex?
11.
Very well. This man is coming towards you, fist raised. What do you do?
I draw a deep breath and I shout, "Stay back!" as I release my breath weapon of whitish frost.
Very well then. You breathe a misty ice in a cone directly in front of you, consuming this man. He clashes back to the ground, falling on the ground outside, covered in bad icy wounds, sort of just gasping for air. The girl screams in horror. Varnir then glances at you, also terrified, sort of just backing off. She then tries to grab Ebder and get him out of your way. Ebder! Ebder just sort of mutters, "It's going to kill my daughter! It's going to save my daughter, please!"
"Get to your dad," I say, as I continue ruffling about the things in the room.
Indeed. The little girl takes up the opportunity you give her to run outside. Alto, this Bex has attacked Ebder quite badly. He is wounded on the floor. Not dead, but one more hit like that. Vanir is trying to get him out of the way. What do you do?
Oh, we really need to do something about this. We need to move quickly now. Okay, we have to find the book. Shemshime, the book. That's what did it. Alright, well, if she didn't have it here... I look around, I suppose I can't see it. It must be somewhere else. It must be somewhere else. Wasn't she reading books out here somewhere? I try to remember. Where did I see her reading or doing something?
You think to yourself, you have no idea. This situation is getting rather intense. And then you kind of notice behind you, Katala. She sort of just entered the scene, glares at all of you and just says, "My goodness, you're all going mad. Varnir, I'm sorry. We're leaving now." And you just see Katala just run upstairs. Varnir kind of panics, looking between the pair of you, and just says to Alto, "Alto, no, you stop her! She'll just hurt herself if she tries to get past the arcane lock!"
Yes, I run after her. "Stop! You can't get out. There's magics protecting it, and if you go out there, you might end up infecting others. You might kill innocents. Stop! We have to solve this. We have to work together."
Roll me a persuasion check.
That is a 10.
Katala doesn't listen to you. She continues to run upstairs. What do? She's sprinting very fast. She is a tabaxi. They are known for being very quick.
"Stop! Otherwise I'll have to hurt you. You will hurt yourself if you try to rush through that shield or whatever she's put up."
Do you run after her?
If I see that she's not stopping, then I continue running, yes. And I try to catch her.
Then you run after her, but unfortunately it takes all your effort just to catch her as she's just about to get to that cellar door leading up itself. Bex, you are alone again. Varnir has dragged Bednar to the kitchen and is just looking at you very concerned. What do? You've ransacked this room. You've smashed whatever that was on the floor, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here.
And I hold up the other thing. It was something supposed to hold a ring?
Yes.
"Where is the ring?" I say as I come after them, quite worked up. "Where's the ring that goes on this?"
Varnir looks at you in confusion. Ebder mutters something. You look and notice he does have a ring on his finger.
"That's yours? Is that your ring supposed to be on this?"
My wife, you bastard!
"Your wife? What about your wife?"
He tries to say something, but merely coughs again. You have injured him quite significantly. Varnir just looks at you and remarks, "Bex, are you a danger to us? I think you're more dangerous to us than the song."
"He was about to attack me."
"Yes, for ransacking his room and destroying that statue of... It was the statue of your wife, wasn't it? Yes, he came into my room, tried to harm my daughter, destroyed the statue of my wife. If I could, I would kill this man, but I can't.
And you can't, can you? Now, where is the book? Where is the book? I am directing it outwards, and then my eyes fall on the child again.
She's just weeping, solidly. Terrified of you. No one's answering you.
Well, where can we look then? I look at the others. I just want to find the book.
Alto, you manage to catch up with Kutala. You see her starting to just ram against the cellar door. She keeps ramming at it and then starts scratching at it with her claws. I need to get out of here! Shemshime, I need to get out of here!
You can't. It's blocked. There's magics. There's no way through. We have to work together.
Work together? Your friend, or whoever he is trying to murder people! Why should I work with you?
And soon we will probably all murder each other. This will drive us insane. But we can stop it. We just have to find what's causing it, and it has to be that book. We just need to find it. Come on, look for it with me. We can all get through this.
Roll another persuasion check.
16.
Well, it's clearly not in that poor little girl's room. What's that fool thinking? Shemshine.
Where is it? Where do you think it is? What would make the most sense?
How the hell would I know? Somewhere in the library, I guess. Wasn't it supposed to be in the scriptorium? Who has access?
Let's go to the scriptorium then, and find it there.
Although, as you're saying that, it occurs to you you were just there and you didn't see it anywhere. And then you think, who has access? You realise there's someone you still haven't seen.
We've seen the Kenku, right?
No.
So Crinkle. Crinkle would have access, right?
Yes.
Where's Crinkle?
Who?
The Kenku. The bird thing.
Yes, I don't know. Again, Kutala, you have calmed her down, but she's still very agitated, and as a tabaxi, her claws keep retracting in and out, in and out.
Let's find Crinkle. Crinkle! I yell out if this place isn't that big. Surely they would hear.
You start calling out on the floor you're on. No one responds. You do hear commotion from downstairs, though. You hear Bex. Their voices raised again.
I begin moving down. Like, come on, let's find Crinkle. They must have the book.
And you begin heading down, and you arrive back in the cellar, with Kutala kind of just staying behind a little bit. You now see this scene once again of Varnir trying her best to shield Ebda and the girl from Bex, who's just screaming and yelling.
Look, everyone. If the book was here before, all of us are here, none of us have it. But have you seen Crinkle recently? The Kenku? They would have had access to it. Maybe they have taken it. Maybe we can find them.
Ah, yes. The Kenku has it. The Kenku has the books, perhaps. They were very, very defensive, very angry.
Varnir just sort of says, perhaps. I mean, she should just be down the hallway. And as she says this, again, the air starts to hum a little. Could both of you roll me a charisma saving throw?
25.
22.
For a moment, Bex, you suddenly, as you're about to head down the hallway, find your hand begins to move. But you're not moving it. It's moving itself. Your whole body turns rigid and sort of turns to face Alto. Alto, you stand your ground and begin raising your hand as well. You're starting to mouth the words to a spell to attack Bex. And Bex, you're about to attack him as well. What do you do?
Causes grief, avoids the blame. And I fight my fingers and I have to bite down on them to stop them from forming the incantation.
And you do, and the pain is immense. You take 3 damage, but you stop. It stops you doing it. You're in control. Alto, what about you? Again, your hand is raising. You want to cast a spell. What do you do?
I try to move my entire body to slam into the wall to prevent my hands from doing the correct movements.
And you do, slamming hard into a pantry. Crocks and pots fall around you. The pain is unpleasant. You take 3 damage, but you're in control. You have no idea what just happened. It felt like your body was no longer your own for a few seconds there.
This is it. This mother scything wheat. She took his feet and another took his ear. The dog knows how to heal, never heeds plea or command. We can't. We will lose control of ourselves.
Yes. Crinkle, Crinkle.
You head down the corridor and say, "Crinkle, Crinkle." There is no response, but you can hear somewhere someone is singing. After all, you are all singing now, but someone else is.
I'm fingering my dirk, restlessly trying not to pull it because I don't know what will happen if I actually have it in my hands.
I move towards where that singing is coming from then.
And you find yourself on the last door at the left. You have not got into this room yet.
I open the door as violently as I can.
The door is locked. You can't get it open no matter how hard you try.
We have the key, yes?
Well, Varnir kind of comes to join you. Shemshime, Shemshime. Well, no, it's Crinkle's. That's our personal room. She has the key.
Then we will destroy this door. Bang on it first. Crinkle, open the door.
You begin banging on the door. You hear a voice from the other side. "Leave me be! Leave me be! Shemshime, the noise, the vein, the voice, the plane. Stop all the racket! I'm working!"
I try to focus and try to keep control of my hands and my bleeding finger, and I try to cast gaseous form.
And suddenly, Bex, you vanish into a cloud of mist and easily fit underneath the door.
And I seep through the door, feeling a rage of chill and elation. I need to get in here now. As I zip through and as I come through on the other side, I will try to reassess the situation before I materialize again.
On the other side, you see that this room is crawling with wingless lava fireflies. The youngest of the fireflies. Hundreds of these tiny glowworms cling to every surface, shedding light throughout. A bit strange, but not necessarily sinister. Simply seems like this person likes to keep the fireflies close. A canvas hammock hangs between 2 pillars near the centre of this room. At a little desk and table is the Kenku, singing to herself, quite disturbed. She has something she is looking over. A book!
I think to myself, that's it. And as I hang there, I look behind me. Is the key? Does it happen to be in the doors?
You actually notice it seems that there's a latch on this side, quite a heavy-duty one.
Then I will, as quickly as possible, materialize and open that latch if I can.
You materialize instantly and open the latch. The door is now free to open. The Kenku looks at you in alarm and just picks the book up and sort of flies back into a hammock. What are you doing? This is my room! Get out! Get out! Shemshime, I'm trying to work!
You are done with that book, Kenku, I say. I fling the door open for the rest.
Everyone else can enter the room. Alto, you see this Kenku clutching this book, looking very upset and distraught at you suddenly entering. The fireflies all stir in the air. You also notice that the Kenku is singing to herself, although she doesn't seem to be singing in a happy way. She seems as disturbed as you are.
I will cast Mage Hand, and I will use it to try to rip the book from the Kenku's arms.
And you do so. Again, this is an old Kenku, so even though she struggles, it doesn't take long before the book flies into your hand. She lets out a squawk of dismay and tries to run towards you. Bex, you are in the way. What do you do?
As I see her hurtling towards me, I cast Warding Wind to create a windstorm around me and make it near impossible for her to pass.
Indeed, you cast your spell of wind. The entire room becomes rather chaotic. The fireflies are spread all over the place, whirring angrily around you as they are then thrown about by this wind. The Kenku is thrust against the wall and hits her head hard, sort of just meekly weeping as she is taken out quite quickly by wind in such a place. At the same time, Alto, you as well are blown out into the corridor, clutching at this book and hitting the other wall hard.
And having gotten out there, I begin rushing with this book towards the oven.
And you run to the oven with this book, Varnir just looking at you slightly alarmed. Bex, you have successfully taken down this foe, this old woman. How are you feeling?
I feel like the situation is under control. We're going to be fine. Where did he go with the book? I let the spell dissipate, and I look around me and I see him running off with it. What's he doing? And I start running after. What are you doing with it?
We have to destroy it. We burn it.
Fool, nothing will burn here.
Varnir kind of at this point goes, yes, what are you talking about? What? And you, Bex, just hear the Kenku meekly. Damage it further. Don't damage it further.
Just cut it up, I say as I run after, and now, at last, I'm pulling the dirk from my belt again. Let me cut its pages.
Alto, what do? You're looking at this book. You realise it's quite heavy, and looking at it and hearing Bex say he's going to cut out the pages, you then notice, does it have pages? It's a very thick book, its cover made of bronze. You also notice there's quite a large contraption on the side, although it seems damaged. Yes, you can see the spine's broken and it looks like there's a dent in it. Still, you're there in the kitchen. What do?
There's some kind of music box in it, right? I look at this oven. I mean, I understand that it generates heat. Would it be able to in any way damage this item, this book? Would it be able to put it ablaze, or would it do anything?
You find yourself thinking, no. Maybe a few hours, it might start melting a little bit, but this is a book made of metal, and this oven you don't think gets to that higher temperature, at least not for a few 10-20 minutes.
I begin just trying to smash it with my dagger.
Well, you open the book and immediately see something begin to happen. Some sort of mechanism begins to start, but you immediately just begin stabbing away.
Yes.
And you do so, stabbing away at this book, and it's really difficult, actually, because the book is made of mechanisms. But fine, you'll destroy those mechanisms, and you start hacking away, and what are they? There's a picture of a person. Again, though, you're just stabbing away, not paying attention to what is actually in the book. Difficult, though. Very difficult. Bex, you come in and see him opening this book, and there's something interesting going on, but, well, he's just stabbing away at it and making very meager progress. But if you think eventually he might do some damage.
Well, I'm not getting close to him with his dagger raised up in the air, and as he's going on, I just stand there clutching my own dirk, looking at him. Yes, smash it, whatever it is.
And eventually I begin to tire. There must be something around here, a hammer or something, maybe connected with this oven, something heavier that I can use to actually smash with instead of this pathetic dagger.
I try to, look for a pan or something that I can hand to you.
And as you're looking around, trying to find whatever you can to cause harm, you slowly just hear something around you, laughing in joy.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played Shemshime's Bedtime Rhyme from Candlekeep Mysteries for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The music was created by Metatron Omega and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Check them out at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more music for your table. We've also used the soundtracks of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 by Michael Honig, used with permission from Beamdog, from whom you can get the enhanced editions of these classic games. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, and Robin for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. So saith the wise Salondo.